not going to gavel in because this is not the official start of the meeting, but I want to thank everyone for joining us for our pre-meeting ceremonies. This is a fun, meaningful thing we do every year, led by Chief Tantillo. It allows us to provide certainly a well-warranted recognition to so many people, both in our department as well as those who help out with our law enforcement efforts. So I am now yielding my time to Chief until he is done with his ceremonies, and ask my board members to join me up at the podium.
Thank you very much, Mr. Supervisor. It's really a pleasure for us to be able to recognize our officers and celebrate highlights of an individual's career here at the Irondequoit Police Department. So we're extremely grateful for the opportunity and the time they give to us for this special occasion. I want to thank all of the individuals who are here tonight. We have a number of dignitaries in the audience, and one of the things that I've always avoided is naming people, because I would forget someone, and then I would no longer be the chief of police. But it's worth certainly mentioning a number of dignitaries: the president of Monroe County Legislature, Dr. Joe Carbone, County Legislator Carla Boyce, Judge Dinolfo. I had it, Joe. I wasn't going to forget him. You know, the judge and I spent many a night together. We would call him in at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd be the night lieutenant, and yeah, I clarified that. Oh, dear. So we'll move right along. What I'd like to be able to do first is, I apologize. One of my colleagues, Chief Chris Mears from the Ogden Police Department, is here, and we appreciate him being here. So we would like to start with the awards program, because we have a number of officers that are on duty, and we would like to get them back in service as quickly as possible. But the first award that I'm going to start with is for our illustrious Captain Alan Laird. Alan, right here. Are you solo tonight? All right, okay. Captain Alan Laird is going to be receiving the Excellent Police Service Award. In January of 2019, Captain Laird was recognized for his actions coordinating an investigative effort during a reported home invasion and assault on Culver Road. In February of 2019, Captain Laird was recognized for his efforts planning and coordinating a memorial service detail for Captain Richard Ryan of the Irondequoit Police Department after his courageous struggle with brain cancer. And in August of 2019, Captain Laird was recognized for his participation in the Cops on Tops program, which raised nearly $1,000 for Special Olympics. And he was also recognized for volunteering his time to work the Michael Coyle Memorial Fun Run, which is an effort to raise funds for the children of Michael Coyle. Michael unfortunately died during a triathlon, and we assist that organization in raising funds for his children's education efforts. These accomplishments are reflective of Captain Laird's dedication to the Irondequoit Police Department and the community in which he serves, and it's certainly our privilege to present him with the Excellent Police Service Award. Congratulations, Alan.
Good evening. I have the honor to present the Excellent Police Service Award tonight. The Excellent Police Service Award may be presented to an officer who has received 3 letters of recognition within 1 calendar year. This significant accomplishment was achieved by Sergeant Jason Murphy. Sarge. On January 3rd of this year, Sergeant Murphy was recognized for his actions during a reported home invasion assault on Point Pleasant Road. In May of this year, Sergeant Murphy was recognized for his efforts during a child sex abuse investigation that culminated in the arrest of a subject who committed sexual acts upon a 4-year-old victim. In August of this year, Sergeant Murphy was recognized for his contributions to the Arundecoyt Police Department's recruitment efforts. These included volunteering his time to coach, mentor, and inspire the participants of a mock physical fitness test in their preparation for a career in law enforcement. These accomplishments are reflective of Sergeant Murphy's dedication to both the Arundecoyt Police Department and the community in which he serves. Sergeant Murphy is therefore deserving this Excellent Police Service Award. Congratulations.
All right, Sergeant Murphy, since you're the road patrol supervisor, we're gonna have you stay up here right now, because then we can get you back out there. But I'd also like to have, Officer Kay come forward, please. And I just wanna confirm, Acting Lieutenant McLaughlin, Officers Bohr, Bruckle, Gruen, and Dean Kay. The Meritorious Service Award may be presented to an officer of the Arundecoyt Police Department who distinguishes themselves by a meritorious achievement, act, or service to the department, performed in a manner beyond the expectation in similar circumstances, or who performs a credible and unusual police accomplishment. In June of 2019, members of the Arundecoyt Police Department were investigating a suspicious death at a residence on Washington Avenue. The residence was deemed to be a biological hazard. The house was infested with insects, had no working plumbing, and contained a severely decomposed body, human waste, and hazardous medical waste. Nevertheless, forensic evidence recovery was needed at the scene. Technical Services Unit members, Acting Lieutenant Casey McLaughlin, Sergeant Jason Murphy, and Officers Scott Bohr, Evan Bruckle, Christopher Gruen, and Dean Kay, all volunteered to process this scene. Clad in multiple layers of protective clothing and equipment, these officers spent numerous hours documenting and collecting evidence within and around the residence. All of the officers involved maintained a high degree of professionalism, performing their duties in highly unsanitary conditions, and distinguished themselves with efforts above and beyond normal expectations. This became even more evident when members of an outside agency who were brought in for assistance refused to enter the location. Therefore, this Meritorious Service Award is granted to the officers mentioned, and in particular, Sergeant Murphy and Officer Dean Kay. Congratulations, and thank you for what you did. Hang on, Dean, I got you here. Congratulations. Can we get a group photo, Rosalie?
Sure, let me go up here.
We're all going?
I guess. I'm not the boss, he's the boss. Sam, the boss, but I know better. Yeah, mine too. Yep, thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call up Officer Tom Fitzek. The Officer of the Month Award, may be granted to an officer who performs outstanding acts which benefit the police department and the community during a 1-month period. Officer Fitzek and Sergeant Hughes took it upon themselves to create a comprehensive lesson plan for department-wide training regarding single officer responses to active shooter situations. The training including timing how long it would take officers to deploy from a vehicle, as well as techniques and movements to be utilized in clearing a building. The training was approved and implemented in July of 2019. The skills taught during this training are critical for officers to stay familiar with, especially in light of recent occurrences throughout the country. The officers who receive this critical training are now better prepared should such an incident arise. Therefore, the Officer of the Month for July of 2019 is hereby granted to Officer Tom Fitzak.
If I can have Officer Kylie Nichols come forward, please. She is? Oh. And any guest you might have? I'll leave that entirely up to you.
He's content.
Okay, all right, very good. I know. All right, would you give him a bunch of suckers before he came tonight or what?
Past bedtime.
Okay. For you or him?
Both.
Okay. Officer Nichols is a recipient of the Excellent Police Service Award. In June of 2019, Officer Nichols responded to an address on Strathmore Circle for the report of a burglary where items were damaged and a puppy was stolen. There were no witnesses and little evidence except for a live social media stream regarding the incident. And if anybody knows social media, it's Officer Nichols, right? The victim was not fully forthcoming or cooperative. Officer Nichols showed persistence while interviewing the victim and did eventually obtain the names of 4 possible suspects from the victim. Over the course of the next 7 weeks, Officer Nichols conducted the follow-up investigation while still handling her assigned road patrol duties. She interviewed one suspect who admitted to being a participant and made statements that implicated the other suspects involved. Although the other 3 suspects were uncooperative, Officer Nichols was able to obtain sufficient probable cause to charge all 4 suspects in this burglary. Officer Nichols was able to successfully complete this investigation while still handling 258 calls for service, 158 assist jobs, conducted 25 stops, and made a DWI arrest. Officer Nichols' faithfulness, perseverance, and really her dedication to this community and her profession and throughout this investigation certainly makes her deserving of the Excellent Police Service Award. Congratulations, Officer.
At this time, I'd like to have Officers Fakara and Demanicore come forward. And Officer Bruckle, if he's here. Officers Demanicore and Officer Fakara are being awarded the Officer of the Month Award. Due to recent robberies, a GPS tracker was placed in a 7-Eleven store on Empire Boulevard. On August 27th of this year, the tracker was activated due to another armed robbery. Officer Bruckle arrived at the location and encountered a male in the parking lot who matched the description of the suspect. Officer Bruckle engaged this male, who ignored him and continued to walk away from the scene. While Officer Bruckle followed the male, Officers Fakara and Demanicore were able to arrive on scene to assist. The suspect was once again confronted and remained uncooperative. Officer Bruckle was able to subdue the suspect with a taser, which was not effective, and the officers then went hands-on with the suspect and were able to take him into custody. While taking him into custody, he was found to be in possession of a replica pistol and a second replica pistol that was found nearby. As a result of their hard work and dedication, the suspect was subsequently charged with 2 armed robberies at that store in a 2-day period. Due to these outstanding efforts, these officers are being awarded the Officer of the Month for August of 2019. Congratulations. All right. Officer Greenfield, if you could join us. Officer Greenfield is being awarded the Officer of the Month for his actions on November 1st of 2019 while responding to an address on Miller Lane for the report of an unconscious female inside a vehicle. Officer Greenfield did locate the female inside a running vehicle, which was in neutral with the doors locked. Female was unresponsive and turning blue. Officer Greenfield quickly and calmly reacted, utilizing a lockout tool to open the vehicle, placing the vehicle in park to ensure the safety of others. Officer Greenfield evaluated the female's condition, at which time it led him to administer a dose of Narcan to the female. Officer Greenfield then removed the female from the vehicle for further medical intervention by responding EMS personnel. As a result of his quick intervention, the female did regain consciousness and was transported to the hospital for further medical evaluation and treatment. Therefore, the Officer of the Month for November of 2019 is awarded to Officer Josh Greenfield. Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to have investigators Wigden, Soprano, and Lape come forward. The Excellent Police Service Award may be presented to employees that perform continued intelligent, and valuable service demonstrating special faithfulness or perseverance over a period of time and/or an intelligent act materially contributing to a valuable accomplishment. These investigators, between the months of May of this year and September of this year, investigated more than 25 stolen vehicles. 10 of these vehicles were stolen during burglaries. 2 of them were stolen during home invasion robberies. Most of these cases were delayed reports with limited solvability factors. Investigators Lape, Soprano, and Wigden were assigned to follow up these investigations. The investigators utilized a multitude of investigative tools to develop leads in these cases, which led to numerous hours of data analysis and interviews with witnesses and suspects. Due to their diligent efforts, more than 20 individuals were arrested, several of whom were involved in multiple crimes. These investigators exhibit outstanding teamwork and perseverance to bring justice to the victims of these crimes, making them deserving of the Excellent Police Service Award. Congratulations. So at this time, I'd like to invite all the award recipients back up to the front, and we're going to do a quick group photo.
Councilman Weiner.
No, I can jump in stuck.
Switch. We move forward with the program. I see a couple of more dignitaries, County Legislator Carla Boyce, Monroe County District Attorney Sandra Dorley, Jim Van Brederhoef, who all of a sudden is shy. Chief Van Brederhoef out in the lobby area. Chief Farina's out in the lobby area. Captain Kennedy is from the Sheriff's Office. And Chief Farina? Very good, very good, okay. Excellent. And maybe the captain's wife, the most important person of all. Next, I'd like to have Lieutenant Jessica Franco come forward, please. And any of your guests and close associates, which I imagine would be the entire audience, but that's another story. Yes, you do. Oh, I thought they were, what, and you're an investigator? Just by way of introduction, Lieutenant Franco is certainly a dedicated member of the Arundecoy Police Department. She came to us from the Canandaigua Police Department, and I know they have a representative here. I think you were her training officer, right? First sergeant, and you survived, and you lived to tell about it. That's good. Sergeant Franco has been a police officer for 15 years. She's performed a number of duties and assignments. One of the most impressive things I've ever seen with now Lieutenant Franco, I think I just said Sergeant. So Lieutenant Franco was, as a patrol officer, we were investigating a series of burglaries, and she was on the night platoon, and I was assigned to the day platoon, and we were in a particular neighborhood looking for suspects. We interviewed some folks and things of that nature, and determined that the person that, at the time, Officer Franco had spoken to apparently wasn't very truthful to her. But yet he had been released because there was no reason to hold him. So as the investigation unfolded later that morning, Officer Franco realized that, as we all did, that the person she had initially contacted may have more involvement than he was willing to admit to. And as we left the investigation that morning, she said, "Tonight I'm going to Sullivan Street in the city of Rochester, and I'm going to find him." And find him she did. So that was really the start of a remarkable career as a patrol officer. As somebody who worked in a number of assignments, she was is a highly decorated police officer, New York State MED recipient. She's famous for writing sticky notes to me, requesting various assignments and ideas. But she coordinates a number of projects: the Mounted Unit, HR 218 program, liaison to Bavona Child Advocacy Group, and on and on and on. She is certainly a very dedicated and committed police officer, values the community that she works in, and has earned the rank of lieutenant within the Arundecoy Police Department.
Who's holding the Bible? I, Jessica Franco,
I, Jessica Franco,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will defend the Constitution
that I will defend the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of New York.
and of the state of New York.
I will enforce all of the laws
I will enforce all of the laws
of the state of New York
of the state of New York
and the town of Arundecoy.
and the town of Arundecoy.
I will fulfill the duties
I will fulfill the duties
of the rank
of the rank
of lieutenant
of lieutenant
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will serve, protect, and guide
I will serve, protect, and guide
the citizens of the town of Arundecoy.
the citizens of the town of Arundecoy.
I will obey all orders,
I will obey all orders,
rules, and regulations
rules, and regulations
of the Arundecoy Police Department.
of the Arundecoy Police Department.
Lieutenant Franco, congratulations.
Thank you. Now it's speech time. So like Chief said, it's hard to mention everyone's name that's here, but I do appreciate everyone who took the time out of their day to come out tonight. I want to start out by thanking the town supervisor, distinguished members of the town board, Chief Tantillo, Captain Laird, investigators, fellow co-workers, retired members of law enforcement, distinguished guests, elected officials, law enforcement officials, and colleagues, members of the District Attorney's Office, as well as the Monroe County District Attorney, Sandra Dorley, Arundecoy Police Volunteers, friends, citizens of Arundecoy, and most importantly, my family, who are all standing up here with me tonight. Now, did I miss anybody? I'm extremely proud and honored to be standing before you this evening as an Arundecoy Police Lieutenant assigned to the Criminal Investigations Unit. I always believed in the saying, things happen for a reason. Specific to my life, I didn't know what career path I wanted to pursue after high school. It wasn't until I started working at Dunkin' Donuts when it all clicked. That's a true story. I'm not making that up. But in all seriousness, the Irondequoit Police Department has always treated me fairly and has provided me with many opportunities throughout my career. One opportunity that I have to mention is the IPD Special Events Mounted Unit. This is thanks to Matt Doward and a horse's friend. Matt's here tonight. I appreciate you coming out. Thanks for allowing us to utilize Bermuda. He's very well known in the town of Irondequoit. I've also learned through this administration it's not about gender which determines success. It's about integrity, hard work, and dedication to the profession, which has helped me get to where I am today. I have set high standards and goals in my personal and professional life, which I strive hard to achieve. To my fellow coworkers and law enforcement friends, I want to thank you for your support and the guidance you have all provided throughout my career. The members of the Irondequoit Police Department, as well as the other law enforcement agencies represented in this room tonight, I consider my second family. We are one team and form a bond and friendships which I believe will last a lifetime. I want to also thank my mom and my dad for all your help and support. You taught me personal responsibility, the meaning of hard work, the importance of setting goals, and never giving up on my dreams. I want to thank Chief Tantillo and Captain Laird for believing in me enough to submit my name to the town board for the position of lieutenant. You are the leaders of our department that take the time to recognize the efforts of all the men and women who work hard and are dedicated to serving the community. Since my time in the Criminal Investigations Unit, I've had the pleasure to work with an incredible team of investigators. I can't express how much I appreciate the work you guys do, which in turn makes my job a little easier, and most importantly, makes me look good. We formed many bonds, not only working closely with our law enforcement partners in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, but with the community members we serve. There are many challenging and heartbreaking cases we've had to deal with at times, but with challenges comes opportunities. Those are the lasting impressions and memories. When we can take the time to build relationships, be transparent in what we do, and ultimately have the ability to make a difference in someone's life. Police work is about the citizens we are sworn to protect. It's about serving our community with integrity and professionalism and valuing the partnerships we've worked to establish in our community. I can promise you I will fulfill my duties and responsibilities as a lieutenant of this department and will continue to represent the citizens we serve with the utmost respect and dignity. As I stand here before you, a newly appointed lieutenant for the town of Irondequoit, I am humbled and deeply grateful for this opportunity. And again, thank you all. I promise I will not let you down.
Where'd Chief go?
I have the microphone till 7 o'clock. I yield the balance of my time to Super. We heard enough of that this week.
Take this.
Very quickly, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. It means a lot to all of the award recipients. It means a great deal to the Irondequoit Police Department. We value the relationships that we have with so many people, and you truly represent that here tonight. For the family members, your sons, daughters, husbands, wives, all of the folks in the Irondequoit Police Department are second to none. They really represent this community with a big heart. When you look at all of the good things that are done, check us out on Facebook sometime. With that, I will say to you that refreshments will be served in the small courtroom across the parking lot. We have plenty of photo opportunities with the award recipients and Lieutenant Franco. Thank you very much for coming.
So thank you, everyone. We are gaveling in at 7, so to the greatest, not that I don't love seeing you there, I'm not naive enough to think that you're going to stay around for the town board meeting, because we all know that we're not the warm-up act. So thank you for coming, and God bless you, and have a very nice holiday.
David.
Board meeting, December 17th, 2019. Visitors are invited to join board members in rising to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilwoman Hush LeRae. Here. Councilman Perticone.
Here.
Councilwoman Romeo.
Here.
Councilman Weiner.
Here.
Supervisor Sealy.
Here.
Attorney for the town.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and good evening, everyone. We have a pretty robust agenda tonight, nearly 36 items, so we will try and get to it as soon as possible. We had a very nice ceremony recognizing members of our police department and all the good work they do, so this is not a tough act to follow, but a wonderful act to follow. A few announcements before we get into our agenda. And I will note, just before we go any further, there are two public hearings tonight. They begin promptly at 7:35, one of which is regarding an amendment to our Community Development Block Grant Program. The other is regarding a special use permit. If you are here for public input, we will do that shortly. You can sign up at the sign-in table over there if you wish to address the board on any topic. Just a few general announcements. Actually, it was announced today. Senator Rich Funke has made it clear that he is not running for re-election next year. He still will serve the balance of his term, I believe. I think that was his intention, but just wanted to take an opportunity to thank Senator Funke, someone who lived much of his life in Arundequoit, not now, but raised his family here. So I know even though Arundequoit was the northern part of his district, it always warranted his attention. And he's been our state senate representative since 2015. Through his support, which was really invaluable, I don't know how we could have gotten some of the things we were able to get done, some of the projects, including the Arundequoit Ballpark Complex, the new athletic fields at Camp Eastman, our new Department of Public Works, our community center, an e-commerce zone at our police department, which he helped fund. All of those were done with state funding. So we are just very grateful to Senator Funke, and on behalf of the community, wish him a very happy retirement, and certainly thank him for his public service. Throughout the month of October, the town of Arundequoit once again did an amazing job in the Beards for Bucks initiative, raising over $3,000 for 1330 Cancer Connect, which for those of you who don't know, 1330 is an organization that provides programs and support services for that cohort, 13 to 30, which sometimes, not that they're forgotten, but sometimes isn't the highest prevalence of cancer among that cohort, so the need to connect people living with cancer and provide programming and enrichment. It really is a terrific program. So I want to especially thank our Director of Digital Services, Nate Stone, who raised the most of anyone in the town. He also has the best beard of anyone in the town. He's downstairs helping our telecast for the evening. But certainly a great event. Also thanks to the many members of the police department and our town organization who helped raise money. I always note that we raise more per capita than any participant locally, and we're proud of that. The annual Shop with a Cop was held last Saturday. This is an event sponsored by the Arundequoit Police Department with the support of the Police Nightstick Club and done in partnership with the Arundequoit Target. It provides kids the opportunity to shop with a member of our IPD, helping make their holiday season a little brighter. So thank you to our police officers, Chief Tantillo, all the people who made that possible. Just want to note, we will be having a swearing-in ceremony on Thursday, January 2nd, 2020, here in the Broderick Room at 6 p.m. It's not an official meeting. We will have our organizational meeting on the 6th of January, which is a Tuesday. And I know Councilwoman-elect Patrina Freeman's here. She, among others, will be sworn in. So it's open to the public, and we look forward to bringing in 2020, but first to have order of business here in 2019. I'll also note, since Katrina is staring at me, I'm noting that our annual Winterfest celebration will be held Saturday, January 25th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. here at Town Hall. The free event gets bigger and better every year, and we can't wait to see you there. And as we do every month, at last Tuesday's Town Board Workshop meeting, we recognize 2 members of our town organization with our Staff Spotlight Award. This month, from the Arundecoit Police Department, Sheila Duff and Rosalina Hosbach. They're members of our Records Division at the IPD, but however, they stepped up really over the past several weeks to cover in other areas of the organization, and that assists not only the officers, but members of the public. So we're very grateful to them, and congratulations, well-deserved. And I have to just do this because I was hoping she'd make it to the end of our pre-agenda ceremonies, and we could have piggybacked nicely, but I will note, today marks the last regular town board meeting. We might have a special town board meeting for the Honorable Councilwoman Nicole Hushler-Ray, and she's been a member of our team for the past 4 years. She won election in 2015, is someone who's a bright young star, not just in this community, but beyond, and certainly has started to make her mark known in public service. She's an exemplary role model, not just for all people, but especially for women getting into office. I think she's shown a great deal of empowerment and sets a fine example for other women entering into public service. So I'll read it. The Arundecoit Town Board hereby recognizes the Honorable Nicole Hushler-Ray for her years of service to town government and her many contributions to improve the Arundecoit community for future generations, awarded on this day, December 17th, 2019. So please join me in giving a round of applause to Nicole Hushler-Ray.
I did not intentionally skip out on that. Although this does come as a surprise. I'm a little choked up. I just want to say to my colleagues, Dave, and the town board, and all our incredible staff here at Town Hall, it really has been an honor of a lifetime to serve my hometown these last 4.5 years. I remember when I was asked to consider running, I say what a lot of women tend to say when they're approached about running for public office. Why the hell are you asking me to do this? So it really inspired me to approach other qualified women throughout the community here in the greater Rochester region and beyond to take a good hard look at stepping up to a leadership position, because it really and truly is incredibly rewarding. So thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm asking for a 40-second recess while I grab the public input sheet. Okay, we have 2 people signed up to speak, although if you did not sign up previously, you're welcome to come up after the 2 people who have signed up and may speak to the board on any topic you wish. First, signed up to speak is Brian Contant, 71 Favara Circle.
Good evening, everybody. I was here last month talking about the new DPW building, the impact it's had on my home, our neighborhood. As a resident, as a taxpayer, it's atrocious. Since the construction started about 2 years ago, our home has actually pretty much been in an industrial site. The noise, the sights, it's been unbearable. Now that the building's complete, it looks nice, good job and everything, but the barrier we were promised of evergreen trees between our property line and the DPW building has not happened. I can't get any of you to talk to me, to come out to my home and see what the town has created. Actually, Mr. Protocone didn't come out last week, so I thank you for that. He saw what we deal with every single day. At night, we have a 30,000 square foot nightlight in our backyard. This building is lit, whether it's being used or not. The grounds are being lit, and it's, you have to have your blinds drawn. I had to get new blinds because the ones we had don't keep the silhouette and the light from the building from shining in every window that we have that faces that building. Extended an invitation to all of you last month. Most of you ignored it. The month before, for the last year and a half, I've been emailing, sending pictures, asking for the town leaders to come by and take a look, and you continue to ignore it. So there has to be a solution. I hope we can open a discussion and come up with a solution, a barrier of some sort to protect the property of the taxpayers between us and the building. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, signed up to speak is the Honorable Jim Himan, 103 Minocqua, Chairman of the Town Zoning Board, Esquire.
I just wanted to thank all the members of the board for your support of the Zoning Board of Appeals during the last 14 years that I've been on the board. And I understand tonight there's a resolution that is near and dear to my heart and is going to allow me, hopefully, to continue to serve the town for the next 7 years on the Zoning Board of Appeals. And I want to tell you that of all the volunteer service that I've done, with the possible exception of the service to Scouts, my time on the Zoning Board of Appeals has been the most valuable to me as a member of the community. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you in advance for your, congratulations in advance on your appointment, and thank you for your service. Would anybody else wish to speak to the board? Hearing none, we will now move on to the financial report. Comptroller Marsh.
Okay. The 2019 financial results as of November 30th, with 91.7% of the year elapsed, the town's total expenditures, including encumbrances, total $30.2 million and are lower than budget at 83.3%. Of that amount, actual expenditures are $28.4 million, while encumbrances are $1.8 million. Encumbrances are sizable at this point in the year as departments are committing to services, supplies, and commodities that will be needed for the remainder of the year. General fund expenditures of approximately $17.6 million are below budget at 82.3%, with actual expenditures being $16.9 million and encumbrances $669,000 or 3.1%. Overall, the expenditures for the three highway funds consolidated are $4.9 million or 85% of budget, which is under the 91.7% of the year that has elapsed. Actual expenditures are $4.4 million, represent 75% of the budget, and encumbrances totaling $581,000 account for 10% of the budget. The costs continue to be driven by considerable expenses and encumbrances for gas, fuel, road salt, equipment, parts, and road paving. The current library expenditures are at 85.2% of budget, just about $2.2 million. The sewer fund expenditures of $3.2 million are below budget at 79.7%, with actual expenditures accounting for $3.1 million and encumbrances accounting for $78,000. Stormwater drainage expenses are approximately 75.7% of budget, a total of $988,000, with actual expenses totaling $559,000 and encumbrances at $428,000, which includes the Vector truck encumbrance. Again, this month, expenditures excluding encumbrances for the town as well as the three major funds are less than the 91.7% of the year that has elapsed. The actual expenditure percentages exclusive of encumbrances for the town is 78.4%. The general fund is at 79.2%, sewer 77.8%, and the collective highway funds at 75%. The general fund has received revenue of $17.6 million or 84.2% of the budget. Real estate tax of just over $11 million has been collected, and the town has now recorded 8 months of sales tax revenue in the amount of $3.2 million or 69% of budget. Per capita state aid of $613,000 is scheduled for payment this month, and mortgage tax for the first quarter of $249,000 has been received, which is 30.5% of budget. Recreation program fees of $306,000 are favorable to budget at 94.9%, and other sources of revenue received are at 86.8%. At month end, the library has confirmed revenue of 2.5 million or 99.3% of budget. 84.6 or 4.8 million of highway revenue has been received. The sewer fund has received 100% of revenue at just over 4 million. And stormwater drainage has also verified 72.8% of its budgeted revenue at 766,000. Regarding the entire town, just under 31 million or 87.1% of revenue and appropriated fund balance has been received to date. Approximately 17.2 million is from real estate tax. This concludes the November financial report.
Thanks, Diana. And as we noted, we're about 8 percentage points below the percent of year elapsed, but also have some large expenditures this month early into the next year, particularly as it relates to state pension. So we're still in good shape, but that number will probably trend a little bit upwards, closer to the percent of the year elapsed as we get towards the new year. So thank you very much. Any questions for the comptroller? With that, I'll take a motion to accept the financial report.
Move.
And a second.
Second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Financial report is approved. Madam Clerk.
Approval of minutes, November 7, 2019, Special Town Board Public Hearing Meeting.
Motion.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Questions, comments, revisions? Hearing none, if you are in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved.
November 12, 2019, the workshop meeting.
Motion.
Move.
And a second.
Second.
Questions, comments, and/or revisions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved.
November 19, 2019, regular town board meeting.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Okay, any questions, comments, revisions? Another masterpiece from our town clerk. So hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. Madam Clerk, we can now move on to item for board action number 3 under assessor.
Item number 3, authorizing a settlement agreement at 24 Glen Haven Road.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Assessor, explanation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So, this is a single-family rental property brought forth in Article 7. The petitioner's opinion is that the property was not being well-maintained and therefore the assessment should be reduced. I agree and support the settlement at this time.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on the proposed resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Item number 4, authorizing a settlement agreement with Providence Durand Housing Development Fund Company, Inc.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Assessor, explanation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So this is for a housing development. They brought in Article 7 proceeding against the town. Basically, they're stating that the assessment, that the property was overassessed for 2019. I'm in agreement with this. At this time, we've settled for the year of 2019. Moving forward, it should be noted that we will be proceeding, the assessment will be developed based on the actual income of the property. This is how it needs to be done. The reason it wasn't done for this year was because the property wasn't up and running and fully rented. We didn't have complete income information at the time that the original assessment was developed. Part of the agreement is that refunds will be paid, slightly different for the school district. They will be paying on an assessment of $1.2 million as opposed to an assessment of $900,000.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? I thank Amy and our legal counsel, Tom Fink, and the school district as well. This was an important project to the town, and it's a lot of moving parts with it. And happy that we have it settled now, and now moving forward can have it a little bit more predictable and black and white. And it's a good project, and we certainly were happy to support it at our level. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Item number 5, reappointing a zoning board of appeals member.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. This would reappoint James S. Hinman as the as a zoning board of appeals member. I don't believe this appoints him chair, but this would appoint him to a term expiring December 31st, 2026. This is his, what, 17th term, or? Just your third, okay. For those of you who don't know, the work of the zoning board really is critical to the town. In many ways, the town board entrusts the zoning board of appeals and the planning board to make decisions that lie in the best interests of the town as it relates particularly to land use. So we certainly value those boards' service. But I will say, having Mr. Hinman as the chair of that board, given his extensive grasp of land use issues, zoning, et cetera, but also his ability to run meetings with decorum, I think he has been a chair who has set a fine example for how chairs of volunteer boards, I'll note, should do this. But we are grateful just to all our planning and zoning board, conservation board members, but particularly to their leadership, who really do put in a great deal of time and on a volunteer basis. So very happy to advance and support this. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Mr. Hinman, please stand up, wave to the adoring public. Congratulations.
Item number 6, reappointing a planning board member.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. This would reappoint Bernard Blocky to the Arundecoit Planning Board. He was initially appointed in 2012. This would appoint him to a term expiring December 31st, 2026. Like Mr. Hinman, Mr. Blocky serves as the chairman of the Town Planning Board, which in many ways certainly is just as important as the zoning board. And Bernie's been very gracious. We had a period of a little dynamic time at the planning board. We had a couple chairs over the course of a few years, and Bernie, to his credit, stepped up and has actually done a tremendous job. So we're very grateful to him for his service and very happy to advance this resolution. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted. I don't see Bernie there. My eyes deceive me. No, but anyway, Bernie, if you're watching at home, thank you. God bless you. Congratulations.
Item number 7, reappointing a planning board chairman.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Okay, so this is case for government consolidation. We will now appoint Bernie as the chairman of the town planning board. I'm sure there's a reason why we couldn't consolidate both resolutions, but anyway, we're happy to do it, and in a testament to Bernie, we're going to recognize him twice. So any questions or comments on appointing Mr. Blocky chairman of the planning board for a term that will actually expire in 2 years' time, December 31st, 2021. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Madam Clerk.
Item number 8, authorizing the reappointment of an alternate member to the town planning board.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. This would reappoint Jacqueline Murray as the planning board alternate. She's our newest addition to the planning board, but I know serves with a great deal of enthusiasm and integrity. Hopefully doesn't listen to Alan Richards too much, but I assume he's been a good mentor. But we're always looking for good people to serve on these boards, so we're grateful when people like Jacqueline, Alan, et cetera, really take the lead in doing so. So I'm very happy to appoint this. This would be for a term that would actually expire in 2 years, December 31st, 2021. Questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Jackie, would you stand up, be recognized? Thank you.
Item number 9, reappointing conservation board members.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. This would reappoint 6 members of our Town Conservation Board, which provides a number of valuable services. They've been integral in our conservation efforts, particularly most recently as it relates to our tree inventory, much to the leadership of former Conservation Board Chair Kimmy Romeo, now Councilwoman Kimmy Romeo. But this would reappoint Stephen Grieve, Krista Gear, Jack Kaufman, Deborah Murator, Brianne Walsh, and Daniel Janos to the Conservation Board for 2-year terms to expire December 31st, 2021. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Do we have any Conservation Board members here tonight? I don't see any, but if you're watching at home, I'm sure you are, thank you very much for your service. We really do appreciate all that you do for the town. Madam Clerk.
Item number 10, authorizing revisions to the 2020 Arundecoit Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting schedules.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second?
Thank you. As affixed in Appendix A, or Attachment A, this would revise the workshop and meeting dates for the Planning Board and the Zoning Board. These, of course, will be made publicly available on the website, and look forward to a wonderful year on the Planning and Zoning Boards. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Madam Clerk.
Item number 11, approving the provisional appointment of a real property appraiser.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Vinette, explanation, and then we'll go to Amy.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. With this resolution, we seek approval to hire a real property appraiser. The assessor would like to appoint Anthony DePietro to serve as a provisional appointment. And that means he has to take the next civil service exam and score on the top 3 for a permanent appointment.
Thank you. Ms. Yorside, anything to add?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, thank you. I'm not sure if you know, but Anthony is here tonight, just so you know. We're looking forward to having him start tomorrow. He is an Arundecoit resident with a background in real estate, and we can't wait for him to get started, so we're excited.
Well, I will just say, and first of all, thank you for your willingness to serve. This was a holiday present come early for our assessor. I know she was very eager to make sure that our assessor's office had the tools that she assessed when she came in, and determined she needed to ensure the office fulfills its duty to the town. So I know she's looking forward to you starting. I'm sure the team on the first floor, the clerk assessor's wing, is looking forward to meeting you. It's an energetic team, so don't be scared at first. You might be a little alarmed, but they're all good people down there. And as always, we appreciate the service of our many town employees. Any questions or comments on this? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Anthony, you want to stand up? Wave to the adoring public. Congratulations.
Item number 12, approving the provisional appointment of a police lieutenant.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second?
Mr. Vinette, explanation, please.
Thank you. This is another provisional appointment. However, in this case, Casey McLaughlin, Sergeant McLaughlin, Acting Lieutenant McLaughlin, has already taken the civil service exam, and we're just awaiting the results for his permanent appointment.
Thank you. Chief, anything to add to that?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Acting Lieutenant McLaughlin joined the Arundecoit Police Department in 2009, has done an exceptional job for us as a member of the Road Patrol. He supervises our Technical Services Unit, which we recognized earlier tonight for the outstanding work that they do. He has been assigned to the Criminal Investigation Unit, gaining experience there that he could share with his personnel while assigned to the Road Patrol. He worked as a sergeant, predominantly on the night platoon, has done an exceptional job as an acting lieutenant on afternoons, and we highly recommend this promotion.
Very good. Anything to add from the board? I've known Lieutenant McLaughlin since I think were you an investigator? Acting investigator, then sergeant, and it's always nice to see good members of our department progress and be promoted, and as chief continues to build his leadership team. I know this is a resolution I'm very happy to support. Any questions or comments? With that, all those in favor of the appointment say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Lieutenant McLaughlin, congratulations. Stand up. Very nice. We still have time. All right, we'll move along to IT.
Item number 13, authorizing the supervisor to extend a contract for information technology support services.
Motion. And a second. Second. Thank you. In 2017, the town board entered into a contract with Fusion Digital LLC for information technology support services. Upon the approval of the town board, the termination of the original contract was December 31st, 2018, but may be extended for up to 2 additional one-year terms. It's the recommendation of our Director of Digital Media and Technology, Nathan Stone, who is running the ship downstairs and entrusting me to explain this resolution on his behalf, that we extend that contract for 1 year to the end of 2020. And I will say this has worked out just, in addition to the managed services, we've executed a lot of IT projects here. I think IT was an area identified as being very much not just in the previous decade, but in some cases in the 1990s still, and that's actually true. It has worked out nicely, and I know the staff, it has been a good arrangement, so happy to extend this, certainly subject to review this time next year if we want to continue, but it is the recommendation of Mr. Stone that we continue and extend this contract for 1 calendar year. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Resolution's adopted.
Item number 14, authorizing increase in towing fees.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Chief, would you explain, please?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This is in regards to the towing contract that was awarded last month to Cristo Towing. They have been our vendor for a number of years, and in 2013, that was the last time this fee structure was raised as a result of the cost of doing business. So we're moving forward with the recommendation of the fee schedule that's been provided. I will add that this is consistent with other agencies in Monroe County, such as the Gates Police Department, Brighton Police Department, Webster Police Department, and the areas of Monroe County that the Monroe County Sheriff's Office patrols.
Thank you, and I appreciate you pointing it out at workshop. Any questions or comments for the chief? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The resolution is adopted.
Item number 15, authorizing the purchase of one 2020 Ford Utility Police Interceptor all-wheel drive vehicle and the associated budget transfers.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Chief, explanation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. As a result of a total loss to one of our fleet vehicles, we've decided to move forward with utilizing funds from the insurance recovery budget allocation, as well as some other items, or funds, I should say, from the fuel line and an existing vehicle purchase line in order to be able to purchase this vehicle and add that to our fleet, since we did lose it from its current condition.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on the proposed resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The resolution is adopted. We can move on to Public Works, maybe get through one or two, and then we'll begin our public hearing.
Item number 16, authorizing the purchase of two six-wheel trucks with plow equipment to be used by the Department of Public Works.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a number two?
Second.
All right. Mr. Kiley, explanation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. As this board is aware, within our capital improvement plan for 2020 through 2025, we had allocated resources to secure new equipment for the Department of Public Works. As such, this resolution purchases two heavy-duty dump trucks utilizing the Onondaga County contract. The value of those two trucks are $273,723.94 apiece. Thus, the total $447,88.
Thank you. As we continue to rebuild the fleet, these are essential, so thank you to the town board for your support of these investments. They have a very good return on the investment. Any questions or comments for Commissioner Kiley? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Madam Clerk, we can now move on to our first public hearing of the evening.
Public hearing number 1 on the matter of amending the Arundequoit 2019 Community Development Block Grant Program.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to open public hearing?
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The hearing is now open. This resolution will amend our 2019-2020 Community Development Block Grant Program. I think the board's familiar with the block grant program, but it's always important we look to educate the public. The block grant program is federal dollars allocated to Arundequoit. Arundequoit has a sizable allocation, as we are what's known as an entitlement community. I'll just use this to underscore the importance of our 2020 census count, because we were really on the margins of what makes us an entitlement community, so staying above that threshold certainly is critical, and it allows us to make those direct investments rather than using a block grant provided to the county. As we've over the past few years looked to ensure that our senior transportation program, which is longstanding, is able not just to meet the demand of our residents who want it, but also expand demand. we have looked to really think outside the box to modify that program. And we've historically consulted with Medical Motors, actually before that with another vendor. We've looked to some other providers as well. The United Way and Lifespan are partnering up. United Way is providing funding to Lifespan. And we're going to pilot a program that's a mobility management program whereby if you're a senior calling in, you call one number and it will ensure that we're able to provide a recommendation for the most suitable mode of transportation, which can be a whole host of modes of transportation, anywhere ranging from a medical transportation, which currently is our status quo for the most part, to one that more resembles ride sharing and is a little bit more adaptable and perhaps consumer friendly. So we're looking to be progressive in this. Our goal is not just to meet current demand, but also to expand that demand to ensure we are living up to the charge of our older adult survey and our comprehensive plan. One of the strategies in each was to make our seniors more mobile in town and ensure that they're able to age in place, which is something conducive to that. So that's the intent of this. This would modify the CDBG contract with Lifespan, or for our seniors, it would modify the senior transportation program that we have to include Lifespan as a program administrator in addition to Medical Motors. It would not change the appropriation. Certainly as we look to adopt our 2020-2021 program, we'll see how this works in its first handful of months, but really excited for the opportunity. The public hearing is now open. As of 7:10, there was no one signed up to speak to the board on this matter, but I welcome anyone who wishes to address the town board on this proposed amendment to the CDBG program, which is being held pursuant to federal law. Hearing none, I'll take a motion to close public hearing.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing is now closed. Madam Clerk, 1A, please.
Approving amending the senior transportation activity in the 2019 annual plan for the Arundecoit Community Development Block Grant Program.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Public hearing number 2 on the matter of granting a special use permit to convert office space into a mixed-use building located at 1839 East Ridge Road in an M manufacturing district.
Thank you. Motion to open?
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing is now open. Acting Director of Development for the evening, Pat Pinkerton, do you want to just give us an overview of the resolution and what necessitates it? And then the applicant is here, so if we, once you've explained and we can ask you questions, if we have them, we'll ask the applicant just to come up and answer any questions the board might have. So Patrick, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This application is before the board today for a special use permit in an M manufacturing district. Under the town zoning code for that district, a special use permit is required for this particular use. The applicant is submitting a request to have a mixed-use building with a commercial karate studio on the first floor and a residential apartment on the second floor. This is a type 2 action under seeker, so no seeker was required as a part of this application. And I will also add that the planning board did review this application and offered a positive declaration to the town board.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Pinkerton? The applicant, Mark Chevron, is here. Mark, if you don't mind just coming up, just to say, introduce yourself, name, address, and also just what you're looking to do at the facility.
Hi, Mark Chevron, as Mr. Seeley said, I own Arundecoit Martial Arts. I've been in business for 12 years. I rent from Rubino's Italian Foods, but they're looking to do something different with that building, so I'm forced to look elsewhere, and that's why I'm here tonight.
Okay. And understanding is the second floor would be an apartment, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Mr. Chevron? Well, you may sit down, sir. And would anybody else? Thank you. Would anybody else wish to address the board on this particular matter? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to close public hearing.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Madam Clerk.
Approving a special use permit for 1839 East Ridge Road in an M manufacturing district.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thanks. I just want to obviously thank Mr. Chevron for providing and short order what we needed at our end. I want us to thank our planning department for not expediting this, but making sure we weren't putting up barriers to a business wanting to relocate, and certainly allow them to continue to conduct business. So we wish you nothing but the best in the future, and it's certainly a well-known entity in town. I believe a congressman living in town is one of your clientele, I believe. Yes, I worked for Joe for a number of years, and I'm well aware of his karate pedigree. What type of karate? Urushukai? No, Ishiru. Ishiru, okay. I tried. Wasn't not even close. But anyway, God bless you, and best of luck. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Joe's probably presiding over a Rules Committee hearing on impeachment, so I don't think he's watching right now. Hopefully won't watch the tape, so. Madam Clerk, we can now move on to item for board action number 17, please.
Authorizing the purchase of one lowboy trailer to be used by the Department of Public Works.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second. Second. Mr. Kylie, explanation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This resolution would authorize the purchase of a new lowboy trailer from Tracy Road Equipment, utilizing the New York State OGS contract. The value of this purchase is $59,905. Current lowboy is down due to mechanical errors, mechanical failures that cannot be repaired. Thus, this resolution is critical for our department.
Thank you. Any questions for the commissioner on this resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The resolution is adopted. Madam Clerk.
Item number 18, authorizing the purchase of one extended reach wheel loader.
Motion.
Moved.
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Kylie.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This resolution authorizes the purchase of a new loader utilizing the OGS, New York State OGS contract. The vendor, Monroe Tractor, out of Lehigh Station Road. The value of this, $199,279. This vehicle replacement is per our replacement schedule, and as such, we seek to move forward with this purchase.
Thank you. Just a question about, are these made pursuant to the current year's budget or next year's, the adopted budget?
This is made pursuant to the capital improvement program.
Okay,
So this
gotcha.
comes out of our CIP.
Very good. Thank you very much. Any questions for the commissioner? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Item number 19, authorizing the purchase of one heavy haul trailer to be used by the Department of Public Works.
Can I have a motion? Move. And a second. Mr. Kylie.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This would purchase the tractor with regard to, in our department, utilizing the Onondaga County contract and the local vendor of Tracy Road Equipment. The total value of the tractor, $138,995. Ultimately, the current tractor we have is a 1998 Mack, which is in severe need of replacement.
Thank you. Any questions for the commissioner? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Item number 20, renewing HVAC services agreement with the library.
Motion. Move. And a second.
Second.
Thank you. Bob, explanation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The Department of Public Works, in collaboration with the library, has really begun to review all of the maintenance contracts at the library in an effort to consolidate services and put forth really a well-organized maintenance of that facility. And as such, this resolution would authorize the town to extend the service contract with Poster and Jekyll at that facility. Poster and Jekyll moves forward with preventative maintenance, filter changes in the HVAC system in that facility. The total value of this contract, $4,326.
Thanks. And generally, this would not be a resolution the board would have seen in previous years, but as we have assumed many of the responsibilities for maintaining the library, it will now be upon the board to appropriate these. It's obviously something that was a zero-sum game because it used to be done by the library board, so no additional cost to the town at the general fund, but just probably a better way of doing it, more in alignment with Bob's building maintenance team. Questions and or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Item number 21, authorizing an interfund loan from the general fund balance to Capital Project Fund 314.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. Bob, explanation, please?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. As part of the construction of the new highway department, the town received $2.125 million worth of grants, $1 million from State Senator Rich Funke, and $1,125,000 from then Majority Leader Morelli. As such, as we move through the grant process, we are moving through that, vouchering for funds from New York State. However, we find the need to loan funds from the general fund to the Capital Improvement Fund 314 until such time as those funds are reimbursed via the grant.
Thanks, Bob. And I know we are making progress with the Dormitory Authority. It's hard enough to manage one or two grants. We probably had over a dozen the past few years, and the state actually has been trying its best to not expedite these, but ensure that it doesn't negatively impair our cash position. So this is not an uncommon resolution, but one that's just necessary given the ebb and flow of grants. And as most people know, they don't give you the cash and let you spend it. It's all reimbursed generally. So Comptroller Marsh has assured that this would not negatively threaten our cash position, which is the result of a robust fund balance. So kudos to the board for ensuring that. Helps us in situations like this. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The resolution is adopted.
Item number 22, authorizing the acceptance of grant funding.
Motion.
Moved.
In a second.
Second.
Thank you. Bob, explanation, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Speaking of grants, the READY Commission, the Lake Ontario Resiliency and Economic Development Initiative, has awarded the town of Arundecoit $6,552,000 worth of grants for a variety of different projects around town. These projects aim to make our sanitary and wastewater facilities and the Arundecoit Bay State Marine Park more resilient for the ongoing flooding that has been occurring in Lake Ontario both in 2017 and 2019. So the 17 grants that we are currently administering through DASNY, we will have 6 more to add to that. But ultimately, this is the first resolution in a series of resolutions that will come back before the board here in the next coming months with regard to the RFPs, issuing bids, procuring contractors, materials, services, etc., for the variety of different wastewater and public works projects throughout town.
Thanks. And I'll just give a rundown, just for people watching at home, of the awards. $150,000 for the German Village Pump Station, $1.2 million for the Bay Village Pump Station, $1.87 million for the Bayshore Boulevard sewer system creation, and that will be done through the, I believe, the incorporation of the residents of Bay Shore Boulevard into the town's consolidated district. Correct, Bob?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. Culver Road Storm Sewers awarded $500,000. Arundecoit Bay State Marine Park, we're very excited about this, $2.7 million. Seabreeze Pump Station, $150,000. I almost said $150 million. And so this is I want to say it's exciting because in some instances I wish we weren't having to do these projects, but we are. We're grateful to the state for their support, and frankly, just grateful to the stakeholders at the state who, this is being done a little differently. I noted, yes, very good. I noted, we'll have an amendment upcoming. I noted with the previous resolution that sometimes state grants are slow to be reimbursed to the town. In this instance, it's going to be the closest thing possible to a pay-as-you-go, which is not common for state funding. But I think the governor's recognized the need to ensure these funding is out the door quickly. Many of these towns who have these projects probably don't have the financial bandwidth that the town of Arundecoit does, so I think it's good that the state is doing this. So you see $6.5 million in here that the previous resolution required a general fund balance. It's hopefully not our intent that will be necessary. No crystal ball, but that's what we are hoping not to do. And with that, I'm going to offer just a brief amendment, Madam Clerk. I submit that the total in the first, therefore be it resolved, the amount be $6,552,000. So 6,552 Can I have a motion for that amendment?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Amendment is adopted. Now to the germane resolution. Any questions or comments? Thank you to my town attorney for her astute math eye, and thank you to Bob for really working hard on all of this. It's not easy, and again, we're happy to make these investments. Not happy with the underlying need for it, but it's a good program. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted.
Item number 23, authorizing the supervisor to enter into an agreement with New York State regarding maintaining facilities.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Mr. Kiley, would you please explain?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The New York State Department of Transportation is preparing a project for 2020 on Empire Boulevard, a mill and resurface of that roadway. As such, the town of Arundecoit maintains our sanitary sewer that goes down the center of Empire Boulevard. As such, we have manholes in that roadway. This resolution authorizes an agreement between the town and State DOT where the town will remit the frames and covers for the sanitary sewer. The State DOT's contractors will adjust the frames and covers of the existing sanitary sewer line on Empire Boulevard, and the contractor will remit back to the town the old, decrepit, destroyed, damaged frames and covers that were formerly in Empire Boulevard.
Wow, strong adjectives, but thank you. And any questions or comments?
So this is to recycle those pieces of the infrastructure, not to do any striping, is that correct, Commissioner Kiley?
This is the simple frames and covers just being replaced, yes.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Item number 24, authorizing the supervisor to enter into an intermunicipal agreement for New York State snow and ice.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Mr. Kiley, please explain.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The resolution before the town would authorize the town to continue to plow Empire Boulevard for a 5-year term from July 1/19 to June 30th, 2024. Ultimately, the town has been plowing and salting Empire Boulevard, and as such will continue on a reimbursement basis. The 5-year total value of this contract, $199,523.35.
Robert, if the lane miles are changed, the number of lane miles for that of state roads that we plowed are changed during the life of the contract, can the state come back to us and?
Yes.
You're not, okay.
Yes. So ultimately, there's 6.8 lane miles out on Empire, and as such, that will be reduced if the lane striping reduction road diet does occur.
If I could change one state law, I might change a lot, but it would be the lane mile allowance, because we plow the pavement, we don't plow the lanes. We will continue to plow the entire road, but because there's less pain on the road, somehow we get less reimbursement. So, such is life, I suppose. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And the resolution is adopted.
Item number 25, authorizing the supervisor to execute an agreement for Monroe County Snow and Ice Control Services for 2019-2020.
Motion. Move. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Kiley, explanation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This resolution would authorize the town to continue snow and ice services for the 2019-2020 season for roadways owned, operated, and maintained by the County of Monroe. The County of Monroe owns 87.205 lane miles here in town. The rate per lane mile during the 2019-2020 snow and ice season increases over last year to a total of $3,362 per lane mile for the 2019-2020 season.
Splendid. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the resolution is adopted.
Item number 26, authorizing the dedication of Phoenix Way.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. This would rename the road off of 2629 East Ridge Road, feeding our new Public Works headquarters, appropriately calling it Phoenix Way. We don't know why it's called Way, but that apparently sounded best with Phoenix. This was a suggestion of me, accepted by a extensive commission that authorized it. But We don't get to name roads often. I know it's not an easy endeavor, Bob, but certainly felt it appropriate given the adversity we've had with the fire and everything. A little corny, yes, but I think when people ask, hopefully people will know why it's called that, and when they ask for years to come, people can explain just what necessitated that and what the adversity the town faced. Questions or comments?
I think you should explain that, Supervisor Sealy. The public wants to know.
Well, for those of you not familiar with the Harry Potter franchise, when a phoenix, the term phoenix rising from the ashes, so it's not named after the city of Phoenix, but again, you don't get to name roads that often. I wanted to call it Kylie Way, but I didn't feel that was appropriate yet. But anyway, I just think it's a nice testament, and for the men and women who go there every day and turn on to Phoenix Way, they'll be reminded just that they've had some adversity the past few years, and so that'll forever linger until we decide to name it something else in the future. Questions or comments?
Thank you.
All those in favor?
I'm just glad that Harry Potter is gonna be in the minutes for the town board meeting in the future. Say that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted.
Item number 27, authorizing the updated Camp Eastman Cabin and Lodge rental holiday fee schedule.
Motion. Moved. And a second.
Second?
All right, now moving on from our robust Public Works agenda, we have our Recreation Director, Katrina Hall. Katrina.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. After a thorough review of our Camp Eastman rates, it was noted that our holiday rates did not fall in line with the rest of our rates with regards to the difference between cabins and lodges. Cabins are typically higher based on their amenities and their sizes, as well as there's typically a difference between residents and non-residents. So the updated rates would keep that difference between $25 and $35 just for holiday rates from residents to non-residents. You'll also see that this new fee schedule does not take effect until 2021, and that is because you can rent 365 days in advance. So we have had community members already renting for 2020, so this would take effect on January 1st of 2020 for the next year.
Very good. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted.
Item number 28, authorizing the supervisor to enter into various contracts with independent contractors from Local B90 for staffing of parking personnel, day overnight supervisors, ticket takers, ticket sellers for McAvoy Park, Camp Eastman Sports Fields, and various town special events.
Motion.
Moved.
In a second.
Second.
Thank you. Apparently, our clerk did something to anger our Director of Recreation, because that's a rare 6-line agenda title, so nice job, Barb. Katrina, explanation, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This resolution brings forth contracts with individuals to provide what was just mentioned at many of our special events, and all of those contracts were available for the town board's review at the workshop.
That they were. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Item number 29, authorizing the supervisor to enter into various contracts with vendors for youth, family, and senior recreational programming for winter, spring 2020.
Motion.
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Ms. Hall, explanation, please.
Thank you. Yes, this resolution also brings forward contracts to the town board for our youth, family, and senior recreation programs that are run by contractors and vendors, and all of those contracts were also available for the board to review.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is adopted. This concludes our body of work for the town board meeting, December 17, 2019. As explained to board members, we, in all likelihood, will have a special board meeting next Monday at 4 p.m. in the Broderick Meeting Room, 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m.
3:30 p.m.
Okay, in all likelihood, and this will be posted promptly to the public, there'll be a special town board meeting December 23rd at 3:30 p.m. in the town board meeting relevant to the community center and some of the awarding of bids which were open today. Our organization meeting is Tuesday, January 7th. I actually misspoke in my remarks. It's January 7th, 3:30 p.m. Next workshop meeting, Tuesday, January 14th, 2020, in the 4 p.m. here in the Broderick Meeting Room, which will be followed by the next regular town board meeting, Tuesday, January 21st, 2020, 7 p.m. here in the town board meeting room. And as I said, Thursday, January 2nd at 6 p.m., we will have our swearing-in ceremonies for our elected officials. Again, Councilwoman Hushler, thank you for your service. This is the last regular board meeting, so I don't know how well attended the special board meeting will be, but you'll always be a friend to us, and we thank you for your service. And certainly, Patrina has big shoes to fill, but she's eager, I can tell back there.
Just
I
fine.
saw her half raising her hand to vote. You can't, not yet, Patrina. With that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
And a second.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
Coming up next, live coverage of the Irondequoit Town Board. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Irondequoit Town Board on ICAT, Government Access. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Irondequoit Town Board on ICAT, Government Access.